Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to part 18 of the Sea of Stars walkthrough. The last episode had a lot of story and a little bit of action, and this episode will have some more story, but also some more action for you. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to go in and talk to Extol, and when he asks for a magic word, we'll tell him Kukar. We've just been transported all the way across the sea to Mesa Island, and what we want to do now is head just a little bit south of where we are. So just south of Mesa Island is a new place that we have to go, and we're going to go just a few seconds south. You can see a little shrine here, and then we want to go down to the bottom part and dock, and then go straight up, and we will go into the Skyward Shrine Bridge. Now just follow the path and the stairs northward. There's nothing you need to get here, no items or anything, so just run on up until you get to a cutscene. The shrine you saw, it's that thing over there? Yes, I'm sure of it. This is how we reach the ones who can grant access to the Sea of Stars. It's way out of reach. Did your vision contain anything about how to get to it? Not really. I just know deep down that we have everything we need. Valere? Paths on water. Huh? Way to go, Valere! Quite impressive. How did you know? The Oracle of Tides. He said I could mend the connection. That was unreal! And we get to walk on it now? Come on! Well, let's just head northward. And we'll keep going north across the bridge of water. Our destination is the Skyward Shrine, but before we go in, we're going to change our equipment just a little bit. So right now the abacus is held by Zale. We're going to take that off and we're going to put it onto Rashan, and there's a very good reason for that that will become pretty apparent soon. So just make sure that you equip him properly and then head into the Skyward Shrine. Go up and step on the transporter and interact with it. That tickled! Did it work? Sure did! This is definitely the place. Let's go! And we're just going to run over toward the right side and head on up through the exit. This place is definitely giving me some Chrono Trigger and Hassa / Kingdom of Zale vibes, but the first thing we're going to do up here is head over toward the fishing pond and go into the Skybound Lagoon. Let's head north, and when you get up to the pond, of course you can talk to the sign to see that we're missing two things. We already have the Ninja Starfish from an earlier pond. So the first thing that we want to do is pretty close by, just straight ahead of us. It is spikier than the Ninja Starfish. They look kind of similar, but this one just has more points to it. It's not really difficult to reel in, it doesn't fight much, but it is stubborn, so it takes a while to reel it all the way in. And here we have a sky urchin. Now the next thing is like a big triangle with a tail. You can see that there's a couple of them out here. These ones actually do put up a pretty decent fight. They like to go back and forth, but we have some rod upgrades that allow us to catch the cloud skate fairly easily. And that's really all we have to do here. We have the sky urchin, cloud skate, and the ninja starfish. So now let's head on out. And now we're going to go over toward the right side and go up. And we're going to go kind of between the big rocks here until we go into the Cloud Kingdom. Whoa. Who would have thought, huh? You know what it is you seek out here? An audience. What? There's a council thing, I think. Let's look around. And we're in the Cloud Kingdom. There's a few things that we want to do here. First of all, let's run around the path. And when we get all the way to the left side, then we can start to head up. And you'll see a giant pair of feet on the left side. Small visitors, did you want to mend the connection at last? Well, everyone up here in the Cloud Kingdom is giants. Let's go up and talk to the transporter, and we're going to go into this inn area. You can see our pirate friends are somehow up here. There's a treasure chest nearby that gives us question pack number 6, and there's also a wheels table. So let's play some wheels, and of course it will be a champion game. For this game, we're facing off against an engineer and a mage. I'm going to use a mage of my own as well as the priest. The priest is actually a really good figurine to use because not only does it heal you, but it also causes your other character or your other figurine to be able to act faster. So what we want to do is just charge up the mage, but we'll also be spending some time charging up the energy from our priest and just kind of go back and forth with those things, and that will allow us to do a really good job of making sure that we're attacking quite often, as well as keeping ourselves healed up. We're even a little bit more than max HP right now. And just like that, we've already moved our priest up to the silver tier, so he's going to be even more effective than before. And we also get our mage to attack. The first one went to the wall, but the second one is a direct attack against the enemy. So we're just going to keep going back and forth with these. It's a pretty easy fight. If you notice that the mage is getting close to being able to attack on the enemy side, then just put up a little bit of wall. Even one little bit of wall is enough to stop that initial attack. And that will be good for preserving your health points. But we have a priest, so we can always heal that as necessary. So this is a pretty easy fight with this strategy. And I'll just let it play out, and I'll see you at the end of it. And there you have it, that gold level mage is an absolute beast. Well, once we declare victory, we can get our prize, which in this case is a diamond wheel. So now let's go over and talk to this giant, and we will say that we need to rest here. So say okay when he prompts you, and we get to go sleep in his little room back here. But this room is special because it actually contains a chest for a rainbow conch. Now we do have an extra story, so let's go ahead and talk to Teeks. And the story is called The Clockwork Castle. So let's talk to her and see what that story is all about. When Aphral first arrived in our realm, he brought with him a group of kid geniuses. If stories are to be believed, Kyle and his friends had struck a deal with him to free their people. In the Fleshmancer's new base of operations, they would toil away, creating machines for obscure uses in realms unknown. But such a base had yet to be built, so as always, Aphral set out to locate the best collaborator there was to be found. He needed someone morally neutral, for it was execution he desired, not competition. With this new lair, he would prove himself superior to Rashan by building a castle that would control time within itself. The watchmaker was the perfect fit. She was only interested in her craft, and otherwise had no interest in Aphral's machinations. All she asked for in return was a workshop of her own, where she could be left to her devices. The deal was struck, and together they designed the Clockwork Castle. The watchmaker began drafting schematics for the kids to start production on, while she'd handle the more intricate parts herself. Meanwhile, Aphral enchanted countless cogs and bricks, giving them an aura of magic that none could understand. Construction was almost complete when Kyle and his crew made their move. One night, they flipped exactly the right cogs so that once the castle's perpetual movement was activated, its core function would backfire. They had no goal in mind other than foiling the Fleshmancer's plans, and in that respect, they'd succeeded resoundingly. What came of the sabotage was that time now came to a halt within the Clockwork Castle, or rather, within its inhabitants. And they had played their trick so well that Aphral didn't even know that they'd done it on purpose. There would be no impressing Rashan this time, but he could definitely see some upsides to a workshop that operated forever. As a final touch, he ensured that any mortal leaving the castle would see themselves age instantly by the amount of time they'd spent inside. Upon completion, Aphral locked everyone inside for a century, ensuring that the watchmaker and the children could never leave, lest they die instantly of old age. The watchmaker thought nothing of it and relished the opportunity to focus on her craft for an eternity. Yet, in this time prison, Kyle and his friends would have to work day and night. Proud of having done the right thing, it seems they are at peace with their situation, perhaps getting to be kids forever helps in a way. From day one, they would always deliver, while adding just the right amount of breakage to give the Fleshmancer countless headaches without raising suspicion. One can only feel gratitude while contemplating the suffering that's been delayed or even prevented thanks to their cunning game of wasting Aphral's time. The end. Alright, with story time complete, let's rest up at the fire and then continue on. Once you're done with that, let's head back down and we will use the teleport pad to go back to the main area. And now we're going to head toward the right. The next giant says, "Little ones, are you going to meet the council? If so, I wish you luck. They can be very difficult." Well, that's a little intimidating. Let's head on over toward the right and use the next teleport pad to go up to this room. There's going to be a treasure chest on the far right side that gives us true silver daggers. That's a nice little upgrade for Sarai, so let's throw those on to get much more attack and some more magic attack. And if you talk to the giant here, this is the merchant, so let's go ahead and see what he has to offer. He contains some new equipment like the Cloud Sword, that's an upgrade for Zale. The Oaken Armor, we have a couple ingredients, but the most important things are the recipe for Peach Strudel and music sheet number 6. So let's buy those things, and then we can head on out of here. And let's go over toward the right side. This giant's nice enough to raise his feet as we run around. I can see you, don't worry. Well, that's nice. And as we go over toward the right side, we can see another giant. We'll deal with this one in just a little bit, but in the bottom corner, we can grab a Cloudy Shard, another thing that we can give to Teaks for story time. Now let's go up and interact with this teleporter to be able to get to this room with a scene. Who demands audience? Present yourself. I am the one demanding audience. We can hear you just fine. No need to shout. Oops. Name? Garl. Title? What? Title. His title is Warrior Cook. Luana? Mumble, mumble. Mumble, mumble. Warrior Cook. It is our understanding that you are on borrowed time. I am, and I have a request. Then speak. It's for my friends here. I want you to grant them access to the Sea of Stars. Mumble, mumble. Do you understand what you are asking of us? Absolutely. And who will vouch for you? Vouch? I don't know. I thought we could just... I will. Mumble, mumble. Great Eagle, you honor us with your presence. Tell us then, do they possess the key? Yes, they have reclaimed the Vespertine. Do they possess the strength? Yes, Solon and Luana have awoken. Their wish is to accept this final gift from their friend and complete their journey. Do they possess the will? Sarai. How did she get here? Determination. Mumble, mumble. We deem this group of travelers satisfactory. This leaves only the matter of the deed. What does the warrior cook intend to offer in exchange for his friend's passage? I hope you have a plan. Well, what do you propose? I will wake the sleeper. You would bring total destruction to this world. What makes you believe we would accept such a proposition? Don't worry, I'll make it friendly again. The Elder Mist once told me that I might soothe a long-tormented soul. This is what he meant. I'm certain of it. Mumble, mumble. That is a tall order. What is your plan? The ruins in the moorlands. I wasn't sure at first, but now I know what they meant. There are no more ovates. How then? I will complete the ritual of the elements by cooking with them. Impossible. Mumble, mumble. We agree to entertain your plan. How will you use water? Magic dew to instantly grow the crops I'll need. Sea monsters are extinct. Magic dew will not manifest without an enchanted scale. Don't worry, I know just the place to find one. How about fire then? Natural heat from the volcano without a name. Preposterous. The lava monster would kill you instantly. It's okay. My friends are pretty strong. Earth. The volcano will be terraformed by magic, so I can use its summit as a giant oven to bake my creation. And I suppose you know just the wizard? Sure do. And that volcano will finally have a name. Kiln Mountain. Don't push your luck, kid. Mumble, mumble. Mumble, mumble. We like the name. That leaves the final element. How does wind come into play? We will capture Zephyr in a bottle. When my creation is complete, I will let it carry the scent to the sleeper's nostrils. And why do you require a volcano-sized oven? Because I will bake the biggest loaf of bread the world has ever seen. Haha. Mumble, mumble. And what makes you believe that it will be enough to make the sleeper friendly again? Oh, come on. No one can be grumpy when they wake up to the smell of freshly baked bread. Mumble, mumble. Mumble, mumble. We find no valid counter-argument. If you can truly soothe the sleeper, we will grant your friends access to the Sea of Stars. The volcano is now open. You will also need this. Got Wind Key. Right on! Great job up there, Garl. Yeah, that went well. I have never seen the council so easily swayed. Okay, let's go back and plan this whole thing. Well, before you leave, go over toward the right side to grab the rainbow conch in the hidden chest on the right. And now we can proceed south and use the teleporter to go back down below. Hey, what's your name? Punty. Why do you ask? Great, one sec. Alright, I don't have a lot of time, so we should split up. What? I'm staying with you. There's no time, just trust me, okay? I'm in charge of Earth anyway, no danger on my path. And where's that? Remember Malcolmud? He promised he would come around if a good deed demanded his magic. You think he can terraform a volcano? Yep, plus the design I have in mind is pretty straightforward. Anyway, Zale, you're in charge of air. West of here is a Skyland you can access using the wind key they gave us. Find Zephyr and bottle it up. Consider it done. Valere, you've got fire. Go through the volcano and defeat the lava monster, then we can redirect the heat and terraform the summit into a giant kiln. Got it. Sarai, that leaves water. After dropping Valere off at the volcano, get Hortense to take you back to the Sea of Nightmare. But please don't kill Hydralion, we only need one scale. Okay. Once you have the scale, just take it to Teeks in Mirth. The villagers will come together to grow and harvest the crops. Get as much as you can on the Vespertine and meet us at the volcano. Well, that'll be Kiln Mountain by then, I guess. Understood. So, first, those who will use the boat. Valere and Sarai, please stand in front of Punty here. What about me? Oh, I assumed you weren't allowed to help. This matter isn't related to a dweller. I am free to choose. Okay. Well, the 4 elements are assigned, but I guess you could join one of the teams. There won't be any danger on my path, though, so who else do you want to help? All 3. This guy is good! Okay, Valere, now say Kukar. Kukar? Whoa! Pretty cool, huh? Alright, Zale, I'll see you over at Kiln Mountain once we have everything. Stay safe, Garl. You bet. I'm alright, don't worry. Extol! The Skyland is west of this village. Lead the way. Sorry for the repeat footage here. I had to film this thing twice, so there's the cloudy shard. We already collected that earlier. But now we're going to head over toward the bottom left area, and we can now cross this bridge and go out the southern exit. Okay, from here, we're just going to go all the way toward the left side, and then we'll go up. And this will take us into Air Elemental Skyland. Alright, let's head straight on up, and we can use the wind key to open the door and proceed north. As you can see, there's a giant blue crystal here. Zephyr's in there, but we'll need something that can shatter the crystal. Let's explore a bit. Okay, let's head around, and then we will proceed up the path going up the cliffs. Here we have a little light puzzle thing here, and a couple enemies that want to interrupt us. These enemies are called Braidzard, and they have 2 attacks. Their standard attack, they will just get really close to you, and then they will summon a lightning bolt down. Kind of hard to get the timing down on that block for me. And then their other attack is going to be their charged attack, and that one is called Torblado. And when it does that, it summons a tornado, and then it shoots out 3 wind blades over at you. You have to block it 3 times, otherwise it's going to do quite a bit of damage to you. So these ones, I don't know, the timing is just weird for me to get these ones. I do get hit way more than I'd like to on these ones. But overall, we can overpower them thanks to Roshan. And now you know why I put the Abacus on Roshan, so that no matter where we go, we can see the enemy's health. Well, after this fight, we have the crystal pop up, and we can interact with the light to make the laser come out. And if you charge up the one on the left side, that's where you'll have a really big mirror come up. So get the mirror in place, and then move the light over to cause that laser to come up, and that will reflect over onto where it's supposed to go, and that's going to raise up a little platform on the right side. If you run over there, you can jump up there, and then that will shoot you across the gap all the way to the other side. Then you want to climb up the path, and then go over toward the right side where we get into a fight with some other enemies. We still have the Braidzard again, but we have a new enemy here. Its name is Sling Rabbit. Once again, it has 2 attacks that it can use. Its normal attack, it just winds up its slingshot and shoots 1 pebble at us. That one's a little bit easier to dodge, but the shot does come in pretty quickly once it lets go of it. The other one is it will shoot off a barrage of them, and it will go and attack each party member 3 times. So that one's a little bit more dangerous for us. You do have to block that one 3 times. So let's just get through this, and that will be the end of that fight. These are the only enemies that we have to fight here, so we'll be skipping a lot of the battles going forward because you've already known how to beat them then, and we'll just proceed through the Air Elemental Skyland a little bit quicker because of that. You might be a bit low on health after that fight. Luckily, there is going to be a campfire nearby that we can rest at and get all of our health back. And if you need to, use the save point just above there. Then go around toward the right side. You can grapple over and then hop across the gap, climb down the rock wall, and then go over toward the right side, hopping across the platforms and grappling back north. Now we have another light puzzle over here, but in the bottom left corner, you can go down into this hidden cave to grab 1 rainbow conch, and then over on the left side, you can pick up this scroll, and Zale and Roshan will learn combo skill Conflagrate. That's a really powerful 3 combo pip attack. Let's head back up here, and now we're going to deal with this light puzzle. If you bring it all the way to the top right one, you want to charge that one up first, because that's going to reveal a treasure chest for us. We can open that up and get a cypress cork. Remember that all cork things are related to Roshan, so you can go ahead and put that one on whenever you're ready. The bottom right one that we can charge up will make us have a new mirror pop up. And then if you go toward the left side, then you can have another mirror pop up. I'm just going to get them in the correct position to start off with. And then I will quickly recharge the one on the right just so it's full. And now I'm going to work my way back over toward the top left one, and that will charge it up, and now we have the laser beam coming straight down, then over right and up to where it needs to be. So once that's done, we get another platform that pops up with a wind vortex. We'll just make the screen a little bit brighter so that you can see. And now I'll put that cypress cork on, didn't forget about it. And then we'll go up and across the giant gap here. Here we have some more enemies, 2 braid zards and 2 sling rabbits. So let's finish them off and then keep going. Now from here, what we want to do is head toward the left side. We can climb up the rock wall and then go across the gaps all the way to the right. If you interact with this blue pillar, you get the triangular slab. That's one of the 2 things that we need to progress through here. Up top, we have a couple more braid zards. Let's finish them off and then keep going. We'll keep heading south from here, and here we can pick up the hexagonal slab. Now let's hop down and then go over toward the left side, and we're going to go across the big gap using the wind vortex. And then we can go down, and this is the cave where we got the rainbow conch and stuff from, but we'll use the triangular slab in the triangular hole up here, and that will create a grapploo point just above where we are. So let's head on up here, and then we will grapploo across the gap, and then we can climb up and then run down the path. Let's hop down, and then we will grapploo toward the bottom left. That takes us to where we can use the campfire once again just to heal up, and you can once again save if you need to. Let's head up the nearby stairs and interact with the pillar to put the hexagonal slab in the hole. Then we can jump up on the platform here. We'll hop back down and then walk around to grab the treasure chest with the assassin's pin. What that does is it's an accessory that raises your attack at the cost of defense. I didn't really like that, so I didn't put it on, but then we're going to hop back up and then go over toward the left side, and then we'll hop up once again. Now go toward the right across the tightrope. There's going to be another treasure chest here that has the sky armor. That's a nice piece of equipment to put onto Zale. And then we can go back over toward the left across the tightrope, and then over toward the left again to go down the waterfall. Here's some more enemies. Once again, 2 braid zards and 1 of those sling rabbits. Let's eliminate them and then continue on our journey. From here, we'll grapploo across the gap, and then we'll go straight north, grapplooing across, and then 3 times jumping up onto the little platforms, and then we have a big rock wall to climb up. From here, we'll head over toward the right side, hopping into the water, and then down the waterfall will take us to an apple tree. Let's go ahead and pick some apples here, and then go toward the right and follow the path around. A couple more braid zard enemies to sort out, so let's beat them, and then we will continue on. After the fight, we're going to climb up the wall on the left side, and then we can grab some apples from the apple tree, and then head down around the bottom part. We can spin this little fan here with our Mistral bracelet. That's going to raise up a pedestal in the middle that we can now access all paths on the bottom part here. Let's head down, and there's a couple peach trees that we can loot, and then we'll go over toward the right side where we see yet another light puzzle. What we want to do is first charge up the one all the way on the right side. That's going to raise up a mirror. What we want to do is to align it so that the light will come at it from the left side, and then it will bounce up really close to the door, just to the left of that door. After the laser's on, you can adjust the mirror. You've got a little bit of time to line it up, and then you can go through the doorway where you will soon be ambushed by some more of those sling rabbits. Kind of a tough fight, especially if they start to team up on one person, but we should be able to take them out without too much of an issue here. We find ourselves in a room with more mirrors and lasers. Ultimately, what you want to do is to get the mirror to bounce over toward the yellow dot on the right side. So let's start adjusting the mirrors. You want the one on the right side to point straight up, and then when you adjust this one a couple times, it will lower the rock wall. And then you can keep spinning it until it bounces to that yellow dot, and that will make it keep going around, and then we can climb up the rock wall. And then what we want to do is head over toward the right side, where we can adjust this mirror to point it toward the mirror all the way at the north part of the room. So once it's shooting up there, then head over toward that one and then adjust it so it's bouncing kind of down and toward the left side of the room. That's going to create a bridge over to the other side. Once you go across this beam, you will see a treasure chest right in front of you, so don't miss that one, that has the Azure Cape, and you can put that into Rashan for a little bit more defense and magic defense. And now we'll just run across the bridge that we opened up, and that will take us outside. Wouldn't you know it, ambushed by more of those sling rabbits. So let's take these guys out. After the fight, we're going to adjust the leftmost mirror so that it bounces toward the other mirror toward the bottom right, and then we will adjust this mirror around until it bounces up and into the receiver on the far right side. That will cause a crystal shard to pop up. Let's go talk to it. Any idea what this is? A highly refined crystal. Its energy matches the one containing Zephyr. Could it be used to break the other one? Without a doubt, but it won't budge. So if I extract the essence and frequency... Zale, do you have any magic item with a proper handle? How about the coral hammer? Let's see it. Here, this will work. Thanks, Rashan. Got Cobalt Hammer. The Coral Hammer has been upgraded. You can now break blue crystals with it. And there's conveniently a blue crystal right here that we can use it on. So let's break this thing open and then proceed down the path, down the waterfall, and we will go all the way to the bottom of this area. And we're right back by the campfire, so go ahead, use it if you want to. And now we're going to go over toward the left side, hopping down the ledges and across the big wind vortex that takes us back to the bottom part of the area, and we can now interact with the giant blue crystal. Let's use the Cobalt Hammer on it and see what happens. So, how do we capture wind? Leave it to me. That's it for us then. I hope the others are okay. Just throw this pearl into the water where you fought Stormcaller. Got Immaculate Pearl. And here's a little something for the fight. Best of luck! Sari and Rashan learned combo skill Arcane Barrage. Let's head over toward the right side. We just have to follow this path up. There's no additional fights that we need to do here. Just follow the path around. You can then hop down, go over toward the left, and then back up. Keep running around the path, do some more shimming on the left side, and then a little bit of tightrope action. You can grapple up across the gap, and then go across the rope ladder all the way to the right side. Then what we want to do is to stop over at the campfire. We can rest up if necessary. We also want to do some cooking while we're here. We want to make sure that we have good healing items, especially ones that can heal our entire group. You can tell which ones are single versus multi-target healing items based on the number of forks on the left side. So if there's one, it's only for one person, and if there's 3 forks, then it's for your whole party. So just make sure that you've got some good healing items in place, and then we will go ahead and save the game just for safety, and then head on up. So let's go over toward the right side now, go up the rope ladder, and then run up to where we fought Stormcaller earlier. When we get to the end, let's interact with the peak and then throw in the Immaculate Pearl. Okay, here goes nothing. Alright, and now we have a boss fight against Hydralion, this time with no Stormcaller to accompany him. Well, this fight plays out very similarly to the Elder Mist, because the tail will come up, and that acts just like the Elder Mist sword. As long as that enemy is up, as long as the tail is in place, then any damage that you do directly to Hydralion will cause the tail to counterattack. And you'll see what that looks like right after this attack. So even though we're attacking both targets at the same time, we're doing damage against Hydralion, and that will cause a tail counterattack. You should know, however, that if you use Roshan's normal attack, and it happens to be a well-timed attack that sends damage over toward Hydralion, that will not count. So make sure that you're always targeting the tail directly. You want to get rid of that, and then you can just focus on taking care of Hydralion himself. Now, Hydralion has 3 different attacks that he can use against you. He has a normal breath attack, which is what he's doing right now, just sending out one big cloud to each party member, and you just have to block those at the same time. If he's charging up an attack that has 2 locks, that is going to be a bubble drop attack, and you've seen that before with lots of enemies. They do that kind of thing where they lift you up in the air in a bubble, and it pops and you fall onto the ground. Pretty easy to dodge. The really scary one is if there's 5 locks to the skill that he's charging up, because that means that he's charging the Ruler of Tides attack, which is a giant breath attack that hits everyone 3 times. That's kind of hard to block. You got to get the timing down properly. So the really tricky part is balancing breaking all the locks on the Ruler of Tides, because it's really strong, and then dealing with the counter attacks from the tail. So the Arcane Barrage skill that we got, it is really handy. It does good damage, it breaks a lot of arcane locks, and also it delays Hydralion's attack. So that buys us a little bit of extra time to either heal up or to finish off the tail, and then you want to try to block that Ruler of Tides attack as best as possible. So you definitely want to use Arcane Barrage as often as possible for that. So that's kind of the gist of the fight. Just balance out fighting the tail versus breaking locks versus healing, and you should emerge victorious. After going back and reviewing this footage, I could kind of calculate how much damage I was doing to him, and I would say that he has about 1,000 to 1,100 HP, so not a terrible ton with that. I don't know exactly because the last attack just did a lot of damage, so I wasn't able to see exactly where the cutoff point was. But make sure that you're using those combo skills. Like I said, you want to charge up your ultimate meter, and once that's done, then I would recommend using Roshan's Great Eagle attack, and that's his ultimate attack to do lots of damage and to finish the fight once he gets pretty low. I think most bosses have a visual tell, so you know when they're low on HP or in critical health. I really couldn't see one for Hydralion. He looked pretty much the same, his movements looked the same at the beginning of the fight and at the end of the fight. So if you notice something that I didn't, feel free to let me know down in the comments, and that way the rest of the community that plays this game and follows these guides will be able to learn from your eagle eyes. I think that's just about all that I have to say about this fight, so I'll let it go ahead and play out for you, and I'll see you at the end. Well, it was a good fight, but all good things must come to an end. Let's use Roshan's ultimate attack called the Great Eagle. After the fight, I also got a level up, so let's give Sarai a little bit more physical defense. We can give Zale a bit more magical attack. I think Garl will also benefit from some physical defense. Valere could use some more physical attack. Roshan has some really good skills, but they're kind of expensive, so throwing a little bit more into mana points might help him out. Garl was right. This scale will produce magic too. Let's go back to Mirth. Time for the great harvest. And what are the shafts for? Oh, there's going to be a whole lot of wheat. But you see, if we just drop it all in there, it should get ground up on its way down and leave us with flour at the bottom. Grinding on volcanic stone? Yup, we're feeding a fire breather here. It is a big challenge. I don't know if I can do this. But I will try for you. Thanks, Melkamud. That's all I ask. So we go now? Yeah, Valere will have cleared the volcano by the time we get there. The volcano's been opened. Now to clear the place so Garl and Melkamud can build their thing. I'm right behind you. Okay. Well, that's about where we're going to stop for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button if you like this video, and also subscribe if you want to see more, and hit that notification bell. I'll see you very soon for the next part. Thanks again for watching, and have a good day.